boo. It's me again, your boy Facci from FACCI'S Cinema. What is poppin', everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, think about subscribing. Lots of live streams on here. You never know who's going to be collabing with me on what particular night. Tonight was supposed to be my ex watch-along to wrap up my summer camp slasher watch-along series, but Nick asked if I could move it again. His mom was in town, and I could not tell him no to that because that would just make me a terrible person. So we had to postpone it probably for 2 weeks. I'm on vacation next week, so I'm only going to do one show on Monday. My first blood episode of my Slashtober Slasher Showdown tournament. That's going to be a fun time. I'm going to have Davey from Davey's Death Ray on here. But tonight, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, you already ranked the Friday the 13th according to Rotten Tomatoes. I did, but that was the critics. Tonight, wanted to try the audience side of things. Was going to do pre-recorded. Yeah, you know how that goes, guys. Not my thing at all. So wanted to hop on here tonight just for a little bit to do this, and also wanted to say rest in peace, Charles Cyphers, Sheriff Brackett, obviously from Halloween '78, Halloween from 1992, from 1981, Halloween Kills. He was also in The Fog, so saw it on Precinct 13, a bunch of other things. He was never the big name star, but definitely wanted to give him a shout out. Not that obviously anybody that's big time cares, but R.I.P. Charles Cyphers. You know, everybody's entitled to one good scare, buddy, and you're kind of a big deal. You're a big deal for the whole Halloween community anyway. So definitely want to start off by saying that, and then secondly, want to start off by saying hello to the lovely chat. Because without you guys, I would not do any of these videos, and I would never come on here. But you guys make it all worthwhile. Lamontra, what's up, buddy? Antonis, my man. Adrian James, what's going on? Ashton, don't be canceling me, buddy. I am always there for you. I'm kidding. Rosie, my darling. Bob Jones, what's up? Some guy named FACCI'S Cinema. He looks like a douche. Zodiac Z. Corkscrew. Yeah. You know, the fancy one for the wine bottle. And honestly, does anybody get sick of talking Friday the 13th? Because I really don't. I don't. It's summer still. It's camping season. I mean, summer's kind of coming to a close here pretty quick, but I'm excited. Raymond, what's up, buddy? How are you, Raymond? Good to see you. Boogman, what's up? They blocked a bunch of my comments for some reason. Byron Weaver, what's going on? What's up, Kyle? How are you doing? Saw your interview with Kincaid. Fantastic stuff, buddy. You are killing it over there. Proud of you, Kyle. Keep grinding. Keep being you. And the success will follow, my friend. Todd Thibodeau, an amazing human being he is. Sexy as well, by the way. Very, very sexy. I shouldn't say that. My wife's right over there. I'm sorry, honey. It's true. You know, it is what it is. You know, you get these emotions inside of your soul. Brooke, how are you, Brooke? Good to see you. Gavin, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to try to make you happy. I don't want to piss you off. I know. I always get you upset. Herbert, what's going on, buddy? My boy Blue. What's up, Blu-ray? Good to see you. A lot of good people in here. Very, very much appreciate it. Ashton, I see you with the little membership badge on there. Obviously, Courtney Reed luckily gave you that last night, so, you know, it looks good. Appreciate it. Gene's going through a hurricane. Are you going through Hurricane Debbie? Well, I am glad you are okay. I know it's on its way up the East Coast, so we should be seeing some of that crap. Not that we're going to get as bad as where it hit, but, you know, I feel bad for those. I went to the beach once in a hurricane. It was a good time. I ain't going to lie. Had a good time. But, yeah. All right, and if you're in here, definitely hit that subscribe. You're already subscribed because you guys are awesome. Hit that like button, though, for me. Helps me a lot. Trying to get this out to the algorithm. It never happens, but we can dream. I'm rocking the Jason Live shirt. I'm not even the biggest fan of that movie. It's fine, but I like the shirt. Got it on TeePublic. Let's get into this thing. I'm going to count them down again. This time, 12-1 from worst to best from the audience scores on Rotten Tomato. Let's see what is coming in at 12th place. Let me crank up some of these tunes in the back a little bit. It sounds good to have the music back there. It makes me smile. And, you know, let's get this thing kicked off with a little...
Fucking hit me with the phone, Dick!
Didn't know. I did not know Mark was in Scream and he got hit with the phone like that. But he did. It happened. It was insane. Insane. Let's see what we got coming in 12th place. I already got this all lined up for me. Coming in 12th place is a movie that I'm growing to love. I'm actually not that big of a hater on this movie. I know it's not a Friday the 13th movie. It's a body hopping movie with some Evil Dead shit tossed in. Jason Goes to Hell comes in 12th place according to the actual audience this time, 23%. So a little bit higher than the critics probably had it, but it's still terrible. Jason Goes to Hell. Most people don't like that movie. There is a select few people that really dig that movie and find a good time with it. I am one of those that's happening to come around on it, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. You know, I don't look at that movie as a Friday the 13th film, and I think if a person watches it as, you know, a non-Friday the 13th film, it might be more enjoyable for them. Is the final girl good? No, it's not. Or she's not. Jennifer? I think her name is Jennifer. Steven with the glasses. I do like that dude, like I said before. And I do like Duke. You know, I'm not going to say the hot dog and a donut thing again, because I said it once already, and I got fucking demonetized. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. But I don't want to talk about the donut and the hot dog. You know, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do. Jason doesn't want to have any part of that sex. Does have one of the best kills in the franchise, though, in the tent. Obviously, the unedited version compared to the rated one, fantastic. The freaking blood everywhere. It's good. Good stuff. I don't condone murder, Jason, but you do your thing, cuz. Oh, wait, that's a different franchise. My bad. Brother Fluff, what's going on, man? How are you, my good man, Brother Fluff? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. This is good people here. I love it. Appreciate you guys very much. All right. And let me see I don't know if they have the audience consensus on here like they did for the critics, but we're going to go ahead and try to find it real quick and see what the audience is thinking about this movie. I'm assuming it's a piece of doggy duty. 50,000 freaking ratings on here. Let me see. They do not have a consensus, so I will read. First one, the unrated version has my favorite kill in the entire franchise. The movie is batshit crazy, but I kind of dig it. Let me get let me get a shitty one in here. Okay, I don't speak Spanish, so I can't read that one. The fact that they tried to add lore into a franchise already on its 9th movie just shows how out of ideas they really were. It's bad and not even fun bad. That was 1 star. I'd probably give Jason Goes to Hell like 2 or 2.5 out of 5, if I'm going to be honest. But 12th place, Jason Goes to Hell. All right, coming in 11th place, one movie that I actually do have at the bottom of my list. I absolutely do not like this movie. Saw it when it came out in the theater. I know people have a thing for this movie. They think it's dumb fun. I don't find it dumb fun. I find it just terrible. And that movie is Jason X at 11th place, 25% from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. I absolutely despise this movie. It looks very cheap. Jason just isn't my Jason. It's probably Kane Hodder's weakest, even though he's in Jason Goes to Hell limited amount of time. I think this is his weakest performance. The makeup is bad. Special effects are bad. CGI is terrible. Yes, we do get the cryo face smash, which is amazing. One of the best kills in the entire franchise. So 2 shitty movies with 2 badass kills. So maybe that's like a thing with this franchise. I don't know. But as of now, I'm kind of I guess people call it a popcorn movie, Herbert. I don't feel that way. I don't have any fun with Jason X whatsoever. The music in it is awful. It doesn't scream Friday the 13th. I mean, I know Jason's probably the one villain that can go to space and make it work, but it does not work for me personally. And if you do like it out there, that's awesome. That is really, really awesome, because there's so many movies in this that I think everyone should get some love at some point or another. So if I don't like it, that obviously doesn't mean there's not a bunch of other people out there that really do dig Jason X. I know my boy Justin, 1/3 of the Rad Pack and 1/4 of the Radsman. I know he absolutely loves Jason X. I don't. All right, let's see what the audience said on this one. I'll give you a good one. The good one says, I give it 5 stars to my favorite kill scene of all time. can liquid nitrogen really do that? They gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on there, my friend. This one I agree with. 1.5 stars. Script, CGI, acting, and patience are the things I don't have with this film. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Couldn't have said it any better myself. So that was, I agree with that one. Aaron Click, what's up, buddy? How are you, Aaron? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see ya. Let's see what else we got. That was number 11, Jason X. Okay, so coming in at 10th place, this may make Ashton happy because he doesn't like this movie. Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the 13th, Part 8. 10th place, coming in at 26%. Now, the thing I can say about the audience ranking compared to the critics, it seems to be more in line with how us actual Friday the 13th fans, most for the majority, think about these movies. Jason Takes Manhattan wasn't my favorite. I talked a lot of shit on it. You know, Jason on a boat, Jason takes a cruise. I've definitely shit on that movie a lot in the past. For some reason, every time I watch it, I kind of have a more and more of a better time with it, even though it has probably the worst final girl, some of the most boring, bland characters in the franchise. Jason gets brought back to life by electricity for the second time. So, I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's not the most creative. We do get a little bit of Crystal Lake in the first 10 minutes. We get a couple cool kills in there. We get the Julius head punch kill. We get the massage stone or the sauna stone kill. Yeah, Kelly Hughes in it. I like her kill on the dance floor. At least somebody gave me her name this time, because last time I called her Lucy Liu, which was just terribly wrong. But I'm not that good with names, to be honest. I think a lot of people think the trailer for this one was better than the actual movie. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe that this movie gets. The trailer was really good. And to think that Kane Hodder wasn't even in the trailer, it was somebody else. So that kind of pissed Kane Hodder off too. But it's fine. But let's read some of the audience scores for this bad boy. A good one and a bad one. A good one gave it 3.5 out of 5. This is pretty recent, from June. I like the design of Jason Voorhees, and his kills are cool. And little movie is okay, but everything else is completely not good, even if it take a while for Jason to make it to Manhattan. He does go to Manhattan for a little bit, even though it's Vancouver, but some of it is Manhattan, and that's the best part of the movie. The last 10 to 15 minutes is probably the best part. It has a cool poster. It was a cool idea, but they just didn't have the money or the budget to do it. They should have snuck around like Maniac from 1980. Dude did it guerrilla style, and then they could have made this thing fantastic. Here's a shitty one from June of this year. This film is horrible, filled with lame kills with no blood. Some of the worst characters in the franchise being so boring makes me want to shut it off, and having a very inconsistent tone. Oh yeah, in 30 minutes takes place in Manhattan. I think that's being generous, because I don't even know if it is that much of the movie takes place there. If we're being completely honest here. But you know, if I'm doing a marathon, it's not going to be one that I skip. So I will definitely watch Jason Takes Manhattan, and I enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, so that is coming in 10th place. Coming in 9th place, ladies and gentlemen, we have another movie that I just don't have a good time with it. I'm sorry. Jason. Oh wait, Jason ain't even in this movie. My bad. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. No, I don't hate this movie because Jason's not in it. That's not the reason that I don't like this movie. A lot of people like the characters. I don't. The only ones I like are Demon and Reggie the Reckless, because who's not afraid of spiders? You afraid of rubber spiders? You afraid of rubber spiders on strings? Man, you one scared cat. Now, he is a hell of a good final girl, and he has the scream to back it up. And then he drives that bulldozer, play some dumbass music, and then at the top of the barn, Reggie comes in with some flying fucking superhero move, and he knocks Roy off the side. But Roy ain't dead yet. And then the Scooby-Doo ending, Bro, Shaggy, who's that, Roy? Like, who the fuck? They zoom in on his face, and I'm like, who the fuck is Roy Burns? Who is Roy Burns? Oh, wait, that is the damn freaking paramedic that they zoomed into awkwardly 2 or 3 times. You talking to me, Sheriff? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Nobody talking to you, Roy. Nobody gives a shit about you. And then the other paramedic guy calls the kids a bunch of pussies. Afraid to get your hands dirty. Pussies. Yeah. We got Ethel. We got Junior. Will you just shut the fuck up? You know, Davey Deathray's interviewing him, by the way. He's interviewing Junior coming up. If you guys, I hope I didn't spoil that. If I did, Davey, if you're in here, please don't be mad. I'm sorry. Right after Facci said scream, a scream emitted in the music. I know, because that is my girl scream, and I recorded it for you guys. Not that girls have a particular scream, but you guys know what I mean. Friday the 13th, part 5. Definitely don't like the final girl. It's me. It's Pam. Pam. Dude, we know it's you, Pam. Knock the shit off. Nobody cares about your sweater that you lost and then magically got back. Holy shit. Davey Deathray. I said his name. He appears just like fucking Candyman. Davey Deathray. Davey Deathray. Davey Deathray. Davey Deathray. Davey Deathray. Nah, this isn't like Candyman. He's not here. Oh, Davey, thank you very much, buddy. Don't forget to hit that like button and share our guy Facci with a horror friend in need. Thanks, buddy. Davey is the man. Me and Davey have become pretty damn good friends, and we have not even known each other that long. So I feel very, very blessed to have met Davey and, you know, talk to him as much as we do behind the scenes. So, Davey, you're the man. Keep grinding. You're killing it over on your channel. Really, really appreciate you, you know, and all the content you do. Let's see. So that takes care of part 5. Not a fan at all. Next on the list, another one I'm not that big of a fan of. Jason versus Carrie. Right to 13th, part 7, The New Blood. 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, my bad. Hold on. I made a mistake. I did not read the consensus or some reviews for part 5. I do apologize. All right, let's see what it says. Okay, the audience, a good one and a bad one. This one's from August 6th. This got 3 stars. While this is seen as one of the worst in the series, I don't think it's that bad. There you go. Simple and to the point. Let's see. Wow, there's a bunch of high ones on here. There's a 5 out of 5, a 4.5 out of 5. Damn. Okay, this one is 1 star. Idiotic with direction and characters that are truly on autopilot as much as possible. The story is pretentious entity that twists and turns in such a way that we immediately don't care who the killer might be, why the killer did what they did, etc. Wrap it up with a completely out of nowhere death scene at a mental institution just for the sake of racking up a kill count. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. People do love it. Oh, I'm talking about the fucking Friday the 13th part 7 things on the board. No, I'm not talking about Friday the 13th part 7. But now I'm going to talk about part 7. We were built up with anticipation, you know. Everybody wanted Freddy versus Jason. It never came. So what did they do? They substituted a generic Carrie because they didn't have the rights to Carrie, probably. And because, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Carrie die in the first movie? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not the biggest fan of Carrie. So they gave us this one. Yes, Tina is... Wow, 22 people in here. Thank you, guys. Really, really appreciate that. 22 on a Tuesday night. I thank you guys very, very much for coming in. I do appreciate it. Sound off in the chat. Do you guys like part 7? Let me know. Davey got a jet. Got to put my game face on for the Ron Sloan interview. Have a great night. You have a great night, Davey. You are a legend among YouTube friends. Yeah, so we got this. And yes, she fights Jason very well. She puts up a heck of a fight. If the kills wouldn't have been edited, if the kills would not have been edited by the MPAA, which is now the MPA, Motion Picture Association of America, this movie would have skyrocketed. And yes, they have some of the clips, but they're not added back into the cut to make it have that unedited cut where all the kills are amazing and they're in the movie. So we got to deal with what we got. They're not that great. What's up, Bob? He says, hey, Bob here. What's up, Bob? Welcome. How are you, Bob? Hope you're having a good night. Talk of Friday the 13th here, my friend. Yeah, it's fine. Jason does look cool in this movie. Probably Kane Hodder's best look. We do get the classic sleeping bag kill, even though there was another sleeping bag kill in this franchise that I do like more. The one from the remake when he burns the girl like a biatch, like a hot dog. And if this sleeping bag kill wouldn't have been edited, I think he bangs her off the wall, off the tree like 3 or 4 times compared to just the one. But it's still cool. I like the scene whenever Maddie goes out to the barn and she just got all her makeup on because she said, she looking good, you can kiss my ass. And then the lightning's flickering and you see Jason in the corner walking. That's good. The scene in the kitchen where Jason's also in the background when the lightning flashes, also good stuff. What? I thought that house really did explode. I don't think that was CGI. But it's just not for me. I know a lot of people do like this one. Kane Hodder's probably best performance, like I said. I just really don't. It's boring to me. It's just boring to me. I don't like any of the characters. That seems to be a theme with these movies, though. Friday the 13th was never built to be an Oscar-winning, franchise with the best characters in the world. Who knows? I think I might have read this one before, but this is a 1-star review. Yep, I did read this one. I'm going to skip that one. I already read that one. Let me see. Oh, okay. Why does a dead guy breathe so hard? And why is he emaciated and muscular at the same time? That's a 1-star review. This one's 1.5. Regrettably, the latest entry in the series falls to break the mold of its predecessors, delivering yet another lackluster cinematic experience. I agree. The plot struggles to engage, missing the mark on delivering the thrills and chills one might hope for in such a film. The performances, too, are uninspired, contributing little to the story in dire need of depth. They could not be more right. For me, personally. If you do like it, I get it. Jason looks really cool, but I just don't like it. This one is 3.5 out of 5. The battle between Tina and Jason is great. It's like a crossover with Carrie. That's exactly what I said. And I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's fine. Jason with the hedge trimmer is cool. I'm assuming he got it from the barn thing. Not like how Victor Crawley and Hatchet always has all these fucking weird tools. He has like that belt sander and shit. Where is he getting this stuff from? Where is he just pulling it out of the fucking trees in the woods? He's getting belt sanders and all kinds of other equipment. I don't know. Hatchet's another franchise also. Well, I mean, connected to this because it has Kane Hodder in it, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I just don't like this movie. I don't like it. I mean, people do have nostalgia for it. I get it. I don't. I mean, I did grow up with watching it, but I just don't care about this movie at all. Unfortunately. So that came in 8th place. Coming in 7th, I'm glad this movie got moved up by the audience compared to the critics, because the critics had this movie last, which I said broke my heart, and I really just wanted to jump out my window. But Friday the 13th Part 3 3D, 7th place, 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well above what the critics gave it. So mad props to the audience for showing some love. Almost got to about half of the franchise, and now we're just getting to it. You guys already know how I feel about Friday the 13th Part 3. It's my personal favorite in the franchise. It's Jason at his purest form that we've always loved. He gets the hockey mask for the first time. The 3D elements are hilarious. Yes, they're tacky, but it was a time when that was a big deal. I didn't hate it. I really liked it. Richard Brooker's probably my favorite Jason. It's just classic Friday the 13th for me. The first 4 movies are just classic, and they probably should be in the top 5 of this franchise. But people don't see it that way. The franchise was getting stale at this point. To some. How it got stale after just the 3rd movie, I really have no idea. It didn't get stale to me. Not until probably it got to Part 7. Then it was starting to get stale, and I was getting some stenchy. But If you don't like this movie, I really don't know why you don't like it. It's classic Friday the 13th. Here we go. 1 star. No, that's half a star. Formulaic and cliched, Friday the 13th Part 3 isn't even credible for its camp factor. The same can be said for its shamelessly over-the-top gore, which is mindless and uninteresting. If you don't like the over-the-top mindless gore, why are you watching a Friday the 13th movie? Does that make any sense to anyone? Why are you watching a Friday the 13th movie if you don't want to watch the kills and the gore? And hello, Dave Vanderhoff. How the hell are you, Dave? You're a legend among men. Legend among men, Dave. Fucking a legend. Let's see if we can find a good review. Okay, we got a 4.5 stars. The best one in the franchise, featuring Jason with the hockey mask, solid enough characters to keep you entertained, a great final 40 minutes, creative kills, and a fast, entertaining pace to it. Makes Friday the 13th Part 3 a satisfying movie of the franchise. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm fucking talking about. That guy's review couldn't have been any better if I wrote it myself. And you know what? I did write it myself because that was my review on Rotten Tomatoes. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. But if I did, that's what I would say. That's exactly what I would say. Part 3 just means a lot to me. Grew up with it. Watched it a lot as a kid. I love the bikers. We got Ali. We got Fox. And then we got, I don't know what the other dude's name is. But, you know, good cannon fodder. Really do dig them. It's a good time. It's a good time at the movies. There's a drive-in about a couple hours away from my house. I saw it posted today on Facebook. They are showing every Friday the 13th movie for Thursday to Sunday. They're showing all of them. And then Friday and Saturday night, they're going to have Adrian King and Amy Still there. I wish I could I want to try to get there. I got to see if my wife and stuff is down. I would love to go. The one night they're showing Part 2, 3, and the final chapter in one night. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, I would have loved to go for that one. And then the next night they're showing Part 5, Jason Lives, and The New Blood. So we'll see. And then they're showing Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. The only one they're not showing is the remake, I believe. Which, I love the remake. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do. Alrighty, let's see what's next. Coming in 6th place, speaking of the remake, 6th place at 47%. The remake, I absolutely love the remake. I think it's a good time. We get a brutal Jason and Derek Mears. We get interest. The first 20 minutes is probably some of the best in the entire franchise. I know a lot of people don't like Jared Padalecki. I don't have a problem with Jamie. Sorry, I was going to say Jamie Padalecki because I just saw Jamie Hart in the chat. Here's a heart for you, Jamie Hart. Hope you are doing well. Saw you just became a channel member of Dave McCrae today. You can't beat Dave McCrae. Dave McCrae is a legend. A legend. He's one of my favorite content creators out there. Always love Dave. Can't wait to get him back on the channel here shortly. Been talking to him about coming back on. I know It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 is coming out soon. Very excited to check that out. Trailer drops in a week. It's going to be good stuff. So definitely go support him and Bruce and everybody over there on that film. I know I did on their Indiegogo. It's going to be amazing stuff. Can't wait to check it out. Let's see. So, I mean, I like this movie. People hate Trent. I don't hate Trent. I like him. I think he's a fun, bad piece of shit that we're supposed to hate. A little over the top, yes, but I like it a lot. Does it have some of the raunchiest nudity in the franchise? Yes, but Brie is definitely probably one of the most beautiful girls in the franchise, in my opinion. It's obviously subjective. So, yeah, I know, Jamie. Today, I was listening to his Charles Cyphers tribute video. I couldn't stop laughing when he was talking about the movie theater shit at the end. I was laughing out loud in my FedEx truck and hoping nobody's seen me. Probably thinking I'm a fucking wacko. But it was hilarious. Let's see. Here's a 1.5 star review from July of this year. The older one had a way better storyline. I don't care for these people, nor did I care for the guy's missing sister, if I'm being honest. Okay. Okay. I could see that. Okay. Here's a 5-star review. Having been told not to watch Friday the 13th as a kid, then growing up and eventually watching the entire franchise, this is the version of Jason I had always imagined when worn as a kid. You are not wrong. Derek Mears is fantastic. He is brutal. He's fierce. He's powerful. Everything you want in a Jason. Everything you want in a Jason. So I respect the audience putting this movie where they did right here. I think this is a good place for it. I have it a little bit higher in mine, but I think this is a good place for it. F. Bass, what's up, buddy? I feel like these critics are grifting and hating for views and attention. Well, these reviews I'm reading right now are the audience. So these are just regular Joe Schmo blows from your mom's basement. I don't know. That was weird. The sister was the final girl. I could see that. Whitney, you weren't even with her for most of the movie. You weren't even with her for most of the movie. And she was the final girl. But, I don't have a problem with it. I like the ending. I love the final act in the barn. You get like part 2, 3, and 4 all mixed in together, which I think is what makes this movie work for me. It's just a quick rewrap of the first 4 movies, and I dig the hell out of it. It was number 1 in my ranking for a very long time, but I lowered it after a couple rewatches. It kind of dropped a little bit for me, but it's still top 5 for sure. Yep, you're right, Blu-ray, and Friday the 13th remake is getting released on 4K. I bought it, so that'll be coming soon. Excited for that. I know all those still books from Walmart that they put out like a whole shit ton at the same time. They should be coming soon. What I got Your Next is coming out with those ones. I got Texas Chainsaw 3D because I'm a sucker for that movie. Wolf Creek's coming in there. I got that one. A bunch of good shit. Sinister, probably the scariest movie of all time for me personally. I've only ever watched it once, but it was scary that one time, so that's probably why I never watched it. And I know what you're thinking, dude. You're a big piece of shit pussy, bro. You see, that's not even a scary movie, bro. That's not even scary, bro. I don't know. I ran in the house so fast when I watched Sinister at the movie theater. I got home, turned on my lights, booked it to my bed, shut the light off, went under the covers. Man, I was terrified. Those 8mm or 16mm or 8mm, whatever they were, the videotapes, scary shit, man. In the Bagul, very creepy creature monster design. Very creepy. Hey, Mr. J-Rod, what's going on? How are you, my good man? What is poppin'? He says remake is number 1 for him. Well, I respect it because it used to be mine. First Insidious is the scariest movie for me. I watched Insidious not that long ago for the first time. It was fine. I know a lot of people say that The Conjuring is the scariest movie ever. I mean, it's subjective, so different shit scares different people. I'm sure people are probably terrified of killer clowns from outer space if you're afraid of clowns. So, I can't really judge people or talk shit on people for what they're afraid of, because everybody got different fears in their lives and what they're afraid of. I mean, Arachnophobia, I think that movie's terrifying. I am deathly afraid of spiders. I know that's probably soft and weak too, but I am afraid of spiders, so that movie is very creepy to me. So I guess we can't really judge people, I guess, what they're afraid of and say that's not scary, because shit affects people different ways. No matter what they go through in their lives, they might be afraid of way different stuff than me or you are. So can't really when people say, oh, that movie wasn't scary, that's great. It wasn't scary for you, but maybe it was scary to somebody else. Exactly. Jason's afraid of Jason by fire. No, Jason by water, Freddy by fire. How can we use that? Dude, Mr. J-Rod. Dude. You're not wrong. Infested, I watched that when it first came out. I watched it in my bed, and I just felt like shit was crawling on me the entire time I watched that movie. I thought it was absolutely terrifying. It was a really, really well done movie. Obviously, it's a foreign film, so you got to read the subtitles. But it was creepy, man. Those spiders. At some points, the spiders looked really super real, and everything seemed very real. And then, of course, we get the obvious CGI spiders. When they start to get bigger and shit. But it's a really good movie. If you haven't checked it out, I would go check it out. I think it's on Shudder. Highly recommend checking out Infested. Really, really good movie. Okay, number 5. This is one of my favorites in the franchise as well. Friday the 13th Part 2. More of Camp Blood. 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a classic, obviously. It is one of my go-tos. I watched this movie. It's right up there with Part 3 for the most in the franchise. Ginny, one of the best final girls. By the way, I forgot to mention Chris from Part 3. In my opinion, one of the best final girls. She fights Jason all by herself. She kicks his ass multiple times. So, definitely got to give her a shout out. Dana Kimmel. Great job, girl. And Amy Steele nailed it as Ginny. Everybody fell in love with Ginny. Obviously, she used the child psychology stuff in the third act. Puts on the sweater. We get Sackhead Jason. Who doesn't love getting a mouthful of sack? Oh. Ew. Ew. Michael, do you like getting a mouthful of sack?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michael likes a mouthful of sack. All up in there. All the balls and shit in your mouth. It's good stuff, man. Ashton finds it a bit overrated. Wow. Okay. But you said it's good, so I respect you. Blu-ray says Part 2 way better than the first one. I love it. It is amazing. Part 2 is so fun. I love Paul. No, he didn't die. I don't give a shit what anybody says. If he's on a kill count, they're wrong. How would he have died? Because he was at the end of the movie fighting Jason when Ginny chopped Jason with the machete. So clearly he's not dead. Yes, the first 10 minutes of this movie are just filler. Get a recap of the ending of the first movie. Plus, she's on the phone with her. Adrian's on the phone with her mom. Alice, one of the most boring final girls in the franchise. Not her fault, obviously. But I'm starting to really fall in love with the first one. As much as I hated it pretty much forever. But it's starting to come around for me. Let's see. Look at the reviews from the audience. I need a bad one and there's a lot of good ones on here. Trying to get a good one, but wow, there's not a lot of bad ones. Let me see. Oh, worse than the previous one. No story, just teens getting slaughtered. Yes, that is the point of a Friday the 13th movie, my friend Lloyd. So good for you, Lloyd. Okay, this one gives it 4.5 stars. We finally get Jason, and that brings out some charm. And the characters are better, the pacing is much better, and it's more entertaining. The final girl is better, and the formula is set for a badass franchise. Now that, my friends, is a hell of a review of Friday the 13th Part 2. Ashton, what lesson are you going to teach me, you beautiful son of a bitch? Are you going to teach me some lessons in sexual education? Is that what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to whip that chainsaw around like Leatherface did in 2022. God, that movie blows. We're not talking about that, though. We're not talking about him. Ashton, teach him to night swim. God, that movie blowed cock. My wife was like, it's not that bad. I was like, no, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty fucking terrible. Herbert, one question. The spear Ted used to scare everyone, Jason used to impale Jeff and Sandra. Ted had a real spear. Yeah, he's a dick, man. And Ted lived, and he was annoying as balls. But he lived because he was getting drunk and hammered at the after-hours place in town. I know, Mr. J-Rod. Night swim was just boring. And then the dad 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert. When the dad walked in the water at the end of the movie in Night Swim, like, the family didn't even give a shit. Like, they were just like, oh, well. Oh, well. We don't care. That's our dad. He's a terrible baseball player now. He doesn't make us any money anymore. Fuck that guy. And then they bury the pool in with the bulldozer. It's so stupid. Awful. Awful movie. By the way, I started to watch Maxine, by the way. Got about 40 minutes into Maxine. So, that is on my watch list right now. So, and I'm just saying, Mia Goth is mwah, as always. Holy buckets, it's Mel from My Killer Podcast. He says, oh boy, Foch man, getting wild. What's up? I am not getting wild. I don't know what I'm being, but I'm having a good time. I'm rocking the freaking headband like Garrett would approve of. Since I kind of switched my channel up a little bit based on Garrett. Yes, I'm a copycat. but Garrett is just so damn cool that I had to, go with it. If I had the beautiful long hair, I would copy more off Justin, but I don't have the beautiful blonde locks, so I can't do that. Yeah, shouldn't you have said spoiler alert and then counted? Yeah, probably, but I don't think anybody wants to watch that movie. Oh, Raymond likes it, so good for. See what I said before? Everybody should like a everybody should like a not. Okay, I don't know how to put this. Movies out there should be liked by some people, regardless. You know what I mean? If some people don't like it, it's great that other people like it. So I'm glad that people do like Night Swim, because somebody obviously took the time to direct it, make it, come up with the idea, and it just didn't work for me. But it worked for other people, and that is great. I'm hoping that people do like movies that other people hate, because then we're never going to get anything different. We're never going to get, a wide variety of horror movies. It's all going to be the same shit. See, Garrett as inspiration makes sense. He's a rad dude. He is rad. What's up, Eli? How are you, buddy? Great supporter of Davey Deathray. Always good to see you in here, my friend. Okay, so that takes care of that one. Let's get on to number 4. Number 4, Freddy vs. Jason, a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the movie that you Fred heads and you Jason lovers have been waiting for. And, at the time, it probably was awesome. Yes, Ashton, by the way, he likes Halloween Ends, F the haters. Halloween Ends rocks. Don't care what you say. If you don't like it, that's cool, but that just means there's a hell of a lot more of it for me. So, I own 2 copies of that movie. I got 2 Halloween Ends masks. Absolutely love it. Love it very much. I love Corey Cunningham. I think he's a great character, but we're not talking about Halloween Ends. We're talking about Freddy vs. Jason. It's just a little... It's just not that good for me. It's not that good for me. I loved it when it came out in 2003. I was younger, obviously. I was... how old was I? I was 15 when it came out. So I was super pumped to see it in the theater. I saw it twice. Once at the theater, once at the drive-in. Garbage day! I put out the garbage tomorrow night because Thursday's my garbage day. It's not... Yeah, I don't have a good time with Freddy vs. Jason anymore. I just don't. I don't care for the characters. I don't care for the look of Jason. I don't care for the kills. Pretty much because there's a lot of CGI in them in that movie, like a shit ton. Especially when he's killing people at the cornfield party, slicing and dicing. There's fake blood spraying everywhere. I know a lot of people like it. I don't. Kelly Rowland in this movie, not good. Monica Keena, the final girl. She's very, very beautiful, but I don't care for her as a final girl. And if you do have fun with it, I totally get it. I mean, if you grew up with Freddy and Jason in the 80s, this was the culmination of what you've been waiting for. So I get it. Cheyenne, what's going on? Welcome back again. Appreciate you coming back tonight. Friday Part 2, 4, and 6 are my favorites, although Richard Brooker's my favorite Jason. Richard Brooker's my favorite Jason as well. Yes, Aaron Click, you're right. Freddy vs. Jason is too comic booky for me. I agree with you 100%. Who made it? Kenny Wu? Or something Wu. What was it? Who, come on, what's his name? Something Hugh? Wu? Why can't I find the guy who directed the movie? Where the heck? Oh, Ronnie Yu. Ronnie Yu, the guy who does like freaking music videos. Let's see what the audience said about Freddy vs. Jason. 3.5 stars. Let's face it, everything else about the movie except Jason Ritter and every scene with Freddy and Jason are great. It's only good because of the action between Freddy and Jason. Everything else can go. Okay. I like that. This one says, wasn't that bad, but this had no sense like their original movies, and the killing wasn't that good. Just slashes and blood on the walls. I agree 100%. I agree. They're not wrong. But if you're a fan of both of these franchises, this is probably going to be a big deal for you, and you're probably going to really, really dig it. So I totally get it, and I don't hate on you if you like it, but it's just not one that I go back to, and not one that I rewatch barely at all. Yes, F. Bass. I always hated that Kane Hodder got screwed. He should have been in Versus. It's what we were all waiting for. Yeah, we got Ken Kersinger. He wasn't good. Jason was bad in this movie, and we're gonna not. It deserves to be lower on this list. Coming in third, we have Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is many people's number 1 and number 2. So number 3 is actually probably closer to where I have it. So I agree with the audience on this one 100%. Mr. J. Rod says, I love Freddy vs. Jason. It was my first horror movie. Well, then that makes sense. You have nostalgia for it. You have that attachment to it. So like I said before, people are always going to like different movies for different reasons. And that's why you like it. So I totally get it. But this one, a fan favorite, Corey Feldman, obviously, is Tommy Jarvis. I don't like Trish as the final girl, to be honest. I don't like her really at all. The characters are great, obviously. We get the famous dance in the kitchen, Crispin Glover dance. A lot of great kills in this. Ted White's a great Jason. Can't really hate on this movie. It's pretty much the quintessential perfect slasher of the 80s. It's what every other slasher movie probably dreamed it would be. Joseph Zito did a great job. He also did The Prowler, so the special kind of get the same kind of veracity, and it's not even a word, in the kills. And Tom Savini came back for special effects, so definitely really worked in all levels in this movie. Let's see a bad review. 1.5 stars. At least this sequel tried to do something new with a potential decent ending if it stayed dead. They gave it 1.5 stars, but he gave it a good review, so I'm a little confused. Let's see. One of the best, some fantastic bloody kills, enjoyable characters that keep you invested. A great Jason, though he could have been in it more. A great new direction. Joseph Zito takes the franchise in nice 80s feel. Yes, I agree with that 100%. And here's 2 stars. Better than the previous 2, but not by much. Feldman shows his potential despite being on screen so little, and the film begins to venture into camp with mixed results. So, a lot of love, a lot of hate, mostly love for this one. Chad, what's up, buddy? Honorable mention, my special boy is top tier. You're number 1. How did you know? How did you know that was going to be my number 1? And speaking of my special boy, I know I got my special boy music here somewhere, right here. I'll finish the stream with my special boy music in the background, just for you, Chad, who, if everybody didn't know, played Jason in My Special Boy. So if you haven't checked it out, it's my boy James Grimm's fan film. Go check it out. It's one of the better Friday the 13th fan films out there. Go check it out. It's a good time for sure. I have to give that a rewatch myself. Also, this song was done by Frank Dermani, who was supposed to be on last night, but he had some stuff come up. So we're going to get together and try to figure something else out to collab in the future. But the final chapter, one of the fan favorite in the franchise, totally understand why it came in third place from the audience. There's only 2 left, so you guys can probably guess what number 2 is. Jason Lives, Friday the 13th Part 6. Number 2 with 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. Speaking of Garrett, what's up, Garrett? Looking rad, broski. What's up, buddy? Just talking about you a little bit earlier. Saying how you definitely inspired the, turn of events around here. Definitely thanks to you, buddy, and what you do over there on Born to Be Rad. Go check it out for sure. If you have not subscribed to Born to Be Rad, Garrett is climbing and climbing well. A lot of nostalgia over there, a lot of 80s. Great collector. Definitely inspiring. Go check him out. But Jason Lives, obviously the finale of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Tom Matthews is in it. Does a great job. We get Jason's performance is okay. CJ Graham is okay. He's okay. He's not my favorite Jason, not my favorite look of Jason. But I can definitely see why the audience put this at number 2 for sure. What do we got? We got Megan also. She's a pretty decent final girl as well. We get Alice Cooper throughout this movie. Great soundtrack. The Man Behind the Mask. A lot of good stuff. Yeah, exactly. Aaron Click says Jason Lives is a good one to watch if you want a more fun, light Friday the 13th movie. It kind of takes a little turn from the original run. There's no nudity in this movie. The girl that did want to get nudity said she wouldn't do it. We get John Travolta's nephew in here as Court. I wish the kills would have been a little bit better, personally. Sheriff Garris's kills probably the best. nice to see kids at the camp, which is always a plus because we've never had any so far in this franchise. So that was a first. Yes, Megan is. You are not wrong, Dave. And then she's driving that car and saying it's going to be a hairy turn. Yeah, and then shows the picture that it does. Yeah, it's good stuff. A lot of nods to Frankenstein in this movie. Obviously, he gets resurrected by the lightning. We got the Karloff's General Store. The opening kill of the movie is great when he punches through Warshaw or whatever the hell his name is chest and pulls out his heart. It's good stuff, but it's also not one that I rewatch very often. So I get why people love it. I do. It's the MTV Friday the 13th. I don't really watch this one that often, if I'm being honest. Still top tier in the franchise, but I don't watch it that often. That's okay. It's all right. I'll be right back. What about you'll be right back? When?
And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Now that's a movie. That's a 5 out of 5 movie right there. Screen 96, 5 out of 5. Look at this thing right here. Beautiful. And then plus I also got this. Freaking little Scream bobblehead with the pumpkin. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to put him back there. He's a friend of mine. He is a friend of mine. I love that thing. Got that at Walmart. So number 2, let's read audience scores on Jason Lives real quick before we get to number 1. Audience scores for Jason Lives, we have let's see. Okay, this one gave it a 2.5. Clearly the last movie that didn't get much didn't matter much because they forgot all about, which is fine. It was bad anyways. The storytelling is better, but making the killer weaker than they actually are just so the main character survive is a dumb thing to do. Okay. I don't really understand that one. He did beat the shit out of Tommy, so I don't understand that one, but okay. A pretty good Friday film. This one's 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good Friday film with some good kills, enjoyable characters with not bad acting. A great Jason from C.J. Graham, but uneven pacing and a lot of continuity errors brings this one down a bit. What kind of continuity errors? What's wrong? Am I missing something? What am I missing? I don't know. But Jason Lives coming in second place. Obviously, I think this is going the same way as the top 2, or the same as the critics. In number 1, obviously the same as the critics, we have the original from 1980, Friday the 13th, coming in first place with a 60% on the tomato meter. This is the classic. This is the one that started it all. Halloween knocked on the door, and Friday the 13th kicked that shit in, even though it was a copycat movie off Halloween. But it created this long-running franchise that, was way more popular in the 80s than Halloween. So, I mean, Friday the 13th is top tier for franchise. Mount Rushmore of horror. I know Jason's not in this movie, but he's on the Mount Rushmore of horror because of this movie and because of Pamela, who was a pretty intense villain herself. Do I think she could have killed half the people in the first movie the way she did? No. Throwing people through windows and hanging people on doors? No. But theories are that Jason was there helping her the whole entire time. That's what I like to think. We'll see. Blu-ray says it's a bit dull and dry. It kind of is, but it's growing on me a lot. Steve Christie's a weird character. Got some short-ass shorts on, trying to hit on little teenage girls. So that's not a good thing. Not a good look on you, Steve, which is why you died later. Oh, hi. What are you doing out here? You should have stayed at the diner, you dummy. It beat out The Shining at the box office, Dave. Wow. That's impressive. Shining is a classic. Even I like The Shining, and I don't like slow burns. But this movie I have a good time with the first one now. It's growing on me. I do watch it now whenever I do a marathon. I don't skip it like I used to. It's a classic Friday the 13th. Looks like a 70s movie. It was a little holdover from the 70s, so it makes sense why it looks like that. So I don't hate it. I'm growing to love this movie, actually. Here's a 5 out of 5. Great 80s slasher movie. I watched this movie with my family, and it's great. than I remember. Blood and Effects were kind of cheesy, but as an indie filmmaker, I support all low-budget films. Great horror flick. I think this one was, what, $500K to make this movie? So definitely, Tom Savini did a great job. This guy gave it 10% rating. I don't know how someone can watch this film and think it's great. I was bored from start to finish. See, even the number one in this list got some bad things. So, number one, according to the audience on Rotten Tomatoes, Friday the 13th, 1980. Let me do a quick rundown. So, according to the audience, we have Jason Goes to Hell number 12, Jason X number 11, Jason Takes Manhattan number 10, Friday the 13th part 5, New Beginning at number 9, Friday the 13th part 7, The New Blood at number 8, Friday the 13th part 3 at number 7, the remake at number 6, Friday the 13th part 2 at number 5, Freddy vs. Jason at number 4, Friday the 13th part 4, the final chapter at number 3, Jason Lives at number 2, and the OG at number 1. And those, my friends, are the rankings on Rotten Tomatoes according to the audience. So I prefer the audience ranking way better than the critics, like most people probably would. I also have another idea for another one of these videos, but it's the average. I average the audience and the critics together and then rank them again. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if I get around to doing that one. If you guys want me to do that one, I will. I know the first video was very popular. This one seems to be doing very well tonight. A lot of people in the chat tonight. Really, really appreciate everybody coming, hopping on, and hanging out tonight. Definitely consistently had a bigger crowd tonight than usual. So thank you all very much for hanging out and talking Friday the 13th again. I see. I know I usually do the watch-alongs a lot, but it depends. I guess I should probably do what you guys want to do. If you guys want me to continue doing stuff like this instead of the watch-along streams, I will switch around the way we do things on the channel to please you guys, because I want you to keep coming back and want more of you to come back and hang out. So let me know down below what you guys would like me to do. I know I won't be having another watch-along series. I will be doing my Slash 80 Slasher tournament coming up. So that's going to be a good time. That is coming up very soon, the first round. And then the rest of it will be finished in September and October. So it's going to be a really fun time. Going to have amazing guests. Oh, you're welcome, Brooke. Thanks for being here, Rosie. Thanks. Appreciate that. Zodiac. Awesome. Appreciate all you guys very much. That was my ranking of Friday the 13th according to the audience. Let me know if you agree with the audience more than the critics down below in the comments section. Please leave your ranking down there if you're feeling crazy, because if you're not, that's totally cool. Leave your top 3 or tell me your favorite Friday the 13th movie. Leave it down below. Ashton, you're welcome, my good man. Blu-ray, thanks for coming and hanging out. Before everybody heads on out for the night to enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, if you didn't already, hit that like button, would mean the world, and subscribe if you are new. Channel memberships are down below, and so are links to my Patreon as well. Obviously, doesn't matter to me if you sign up for either one of those or not. Just care that you guys are here hanging out, and I will be back. I'll be back soon. It's nice doing these solo shows compared to doing them collabing all the time. So really, really enjoyed tonight's show. Freaking had a blast with you guys. Raymond, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that very much. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your night. See ya.